In the early days, integration in SAP meant that you got a file and you started your ABAP program somewhere with open data set, and you were going to process this file line by line to make something out of it. Maybe it was sales order data, or maybe it was master data. This was a pretty straightforward process. The other way around was exactly the same. You opened the file with open data set, then you created the file, and then you probably get all the information together, and then you put the file somewhere on a location. Because that was the advanced scenario, that you had a file somewhere on the network, and that you then had a job running in SAP, looking for this file, open the file, process the data, or maybe store the data back into another file. That was the advanced scenario integration in the old days. Then a new era at SAP was there. The era of abbreviations. BC, XI, PI, PO, CI, and now we are at IS. And if you all know what that in all abbreviations...
What's that?
Integration Suite. Jan. Oh nee, dat was the other one. Nee, die. Okay. So if you know all these abbreviations, you're probably a very experienced and well-known integration consultant. And that's the topic of today. Today we are going to talk about all things integration. And we will do that with a hero.
Who is today's hero?
And today's hero, I'm happy to welcome Paul van Os at our cafe. Paul brings a solid background in development and used all tools that I've just referred to with the abbreviations. He started his career at Capgemini in 1997, and 12 years after that he founded his own company, Oxolution, providing SAP integration services to his customers. And if you check his history on LinkedIn, then one comment really stood out for me. He is like a fish in the sea with problems and difficult jobs. Probably solving all those jobs as well. And now, without further ado, welcome to Hana Café, the Netherlands.
Hana Café Nederland is your one-stop shop for all things SAP. Grab yourself a coffee or tea and John Regulus, Jan Penninkhof,
Goedemiddag.
and Tom van der Broek
That's me.
with their guests as they chat about latest developments, innovations, events, or simply catch up. Let's head inside.
So if you have any questions on today's topic, then please leave a comment in the YouTube comments somewhere, and then we can answer that. And almost forgot. Welcome, Jan.
Welcome, Twan. Good to be here.
Welcome, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Happy that you are here to talk about all things integration. So you probably known all those abbreviations I just mentioned.
I did. And thank you for inviting me this afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. And also, Ben, for the people that are joined live in the YouTube stream, there's this poll. What was your first integration tool? So please enter that, and then maybe we can discuss a little bit on that as well. But Paul, how did you start with integration in the SAP world?
Well, I started a long time ago with the business connector.
The business code, one of the abbreviations. Yeah.
One of the first abbreviations, creating one scenario. And then quickly I started with the first XI 2.0.
XI. Yeah.
XI, which was quickly changed into XI 3.0, stack level 4, where we went live at the first customer. About 2004 it was.
Hold
Okay.
on, was it the time of Web Methods? Did you onboard Web Methods as well?
No, did not. No.
It's even before that, I think.
I think it was before that, yeah.
That you still know all those years. That's
yeah.
interesting. Yeah. Okay. And so XI 3.0.
Yeah, 3.0, and from that on, we had some, about 30 to 40 support packs. Then finally we got PI, because there was some discussion about the limits of XI, which I put on the whiteboard long time ago.
Yes, it was a nice sentence. Maybe you can repeat that.
XI nix in XI.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we got PI, and in the end PO, and a lot of more capabilities came to us. And we are still in the era where we have a lot of PO installations. Yeah. One customer has still PI, so then I have to think a little bit on how many steps we have to perform to really make an integration work. And we have cloud integration now, so that's really a blast.
So that's a good evolution.
It's a good evolution.
To the benefit of integration consultant.
Definitely, yeah.
So
I still am in the process of saying goodbye to PO, because I like that application really a lot, also with all the capabilities it has. But cloud integration is also very, very nice.
So if you compare that to XI and for example, Business Connector, that has a shorter lifespan than PI.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So why do you like integration?
I don't like integration.
Oh, you don't like integration? Okay.
No, I really like, because I started as an ABAP programmer, and in 2004 I started with integration, and I really like it because you are not only busy with SAP applications, but also with non-SAP, with all kind of formatting, security, networking. So your world is becoming very big and interesting and challenging. So not only on a technical level, but also integrating with people, IT departments, nice people, difficult people, doesn't matter, but it's a whole broad universe.
Yeah, and it's of course also the most important job that you could potentially think of in IT. I mean, there's no intelligent enterprise without integration.
Exactly.
Very good. But that's a statement that we already have, I think, said before in our podcast. But integration is the backbone for all professional ERP environments. If you do not have integration, then you do not know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're really helping the business forward with putting down a good integration.
Yeah.
And it's not only fun because you have some technical puzzles which you need to solve very often. That's a nice benefit of the job, but that makes the whole package very interesting still.
Now, maybe we will dive, of course, in the topic of integration of today, but let's have a short look into the history. All those abbreviations you just also explained what it was, but what could you do with Business Connector what you could not do before? What could you do with XI and then PI? So is that something that how did this tool evolve in the SAP ecosystem?
Well, in XI we used a lot of BPM processes to make some more complex scenarios possible. It was a lot of work doing that, building abstract interfaces, real interfaces. So we have to bring that together in nice scenarios, but it was a hell of a job to make that work. So it took a lot of time. And if I compare that to, for example, now the cloud integration, you can just drag and drop some tiles, do some magic in Java, whatever what you need, but it's much easier. So you are fast, you have a lot of capabilities, and it's more fun, and it doesn't take so much time as in XI.
And
that's the main benefit.
About magic. It is now.
I like that button.
It's new. Well, not new, but we didn't use it before. But that's just technical things about magic and AI in integration. I think AI and Joule is also coming to integration suite.
It is already there.
It is already there.
Absolutely.
What can you do with Joule in integration suite?
Well, for instance, I think the one very promising thing is that you can just explain to it what you want in natural language. And then based on the natural language, it will come up with an integration flow.
Okay.
So it will basically generate your integration flow for you. So people like Paul in the future won't be necessary anymore because it can just listen to me. No, just kidding. For now, it creates a scaffold. So the scaffold is there, and then from there onwards, you can basically start working on it and making it better and properly fit. But I think another thing that I like very much is the whole process of figuring out, for instance, which of the integration flows are taking a lot of memory, and then acting on it. Just clicking on it, find out which integration flow it is, then maybe find what script's responsible for that, clicking down to the script, finding out what could be more efficient in that script. As a matter of fact, it can rewrite the entire script for you. So that's the kind of thing that's the kind of potential of AI and Joule functionality in the integration suite.
Okay, so we have seen you already working with Joule for coding. So for example, your demo at the VNSG, where you just had a prompt and the prompt created the whole application. Is it also already that advanced that you have a prompt and then you get the whole iFlow and without you doing anything more?
Yes. So this is a very simple answer. Yeah. So just like what we saw at VNSG, you asked Joule to build you an app. You can ask Joule to build you an integration flow as well. So that's the kind of thing that you can expect from. It's becoming very, I think, very relevant for developers to work with. Very pervasive as well, because you find it in all the tools, in build apps, in the low code functionality, in process automation. You can generate process automation workflows, right? In using natural language, but integration suite as well. Things like development, but also the monitoring part. Things like anomaly detection, for instance, finding out which scripts are poorly performing.
Quite some magic.
Yeah.
So that will be your topic for next year's VNSG event.
Yeah, who knows?
Okay.
Well, depends on what wave you're on. Maybe you're in the wave of quantum computing already by then.
Next year, March?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Developments are going fast at the moment.
Fast forward. Yeah. Okay. One step into history. If you look at all those years, Paul, what was your nicest experience, best project on the integration side that you have experienced?
Yeah, war stories, Paul.
War stories or the best project?
Both.
The best stories.
The worst story was a long time ago when we built some integrations for a customer, and then we were merging two companies together, and at a certain time the performance was drastically becoming worse and worse, and we were tried to find the leak, and then after some extensive debugging we found that some programmer used a function to delay the update task he executed, and he built a loop at Mara. And in the beginning, before the merger, there weren't a lot of records in the Mara table, but during the merge we were of course doing some data loads, and the Mara was growing extensively. So then the loop at Mara took really long run times.
Yeah, that was this project in Eindhoven.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a story that
was legendary. Yeah,
it's a legend story. Yeah.
No, and the most fun I had during my project at the Dutch Railways, building a lot of integrations for the NS Business Card. Yeah. It was not only fun to build because we could start from scratch, but also the people were enormously fun.
Yeah, and very relevant as well, and very tangible as well. I mean, who isn't using one of those cards, right?
It is.
Yeah, so I think one in all my years of being consultant with customers, also NS stand out for me, and we were preparing a project together, like for the overchip card, but then you went to another project, and later back to the zakelijk. I was at the consumenten side, the traveler side, but we built everything.
Yeah,
and used. Did we use XI in the beginning, or was it?
With
the BPM layer.
With the BPM layer, and then we migrated from XI to PI and then to PO.
Yeah.
So we had some migration activities and
the collaboration with business, the collaboration with the other people on all specialities. That was really nice, really nice.
Very fun.
What I also remember from that time, and maybe that's a nice also topic to discuss together, Paul, is that business really wanted to know how is my process doing.
Yeah,
we had this process layer in XI and later on in PI, but there are monitoring possibilities in the solutions that SAP provides, but we build our own business activity monitoring.
Exactly.
They are still using it. There's also a new version in being. Maybe we should ask the NS to our podcast once.
Yeah, sometime.
Jeroen, wanneer kom je nou? But then, how is monitoring from interfaces, from processes these days? Because we built then something ourselves.
Yeah, we needed to build BAM because we had such a huge amount of messages, about 6 million a day, and you cannot monitor that manually. So we needed to have a big dashboard, which could be used to dive into problems if any problems arises. So we had to make a capable monitoring tool ourselves to be able to manage everything. And now you see that, especially in the cloud, the monitoring in the cloud itself is in the integration limited, but you can of course connect to Cloud ALM or any other tool, and then customize it so you can have you are able to manage your integration content again.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different in the cloud.
You can build your own dashboards, right? It's an integration suite, so you can create new tiles and stuff. But you're saying that that's not sufficient.
Sometimes, if you have middle projects, not too big, it's doable. But if you have such a big project like at the Dutch Railways, you have so many different kind of flows. You need to get help of a good, intelligent monitoring tool to help you manage your data flows.
Yeah, and also these don't stand by themselves, because I mean, we've been at conferences as well, where for instance we saw Heineken on the stage. They were showing their solutions as well. I know there's a couple of partners that have built their own solutions. So what's missing in the monitoring tools that we have in Integration Suite?
First of all, you have to get used in comparison with, for example, SAP PO, that you don't have the standard details that you have in cloud. Mm-hmm. But that's you have to get used to that process, and then you can use your APIs, of course, in the cloud to retrieve the data in your own tools. What I miss is like what we built at the NS is the business application monitor. So a high helicopter view, which immediately tells you, okay, we have some problems there. You can drill down to the real problem, and then you can solve it.
In terms of business processes, not necessarily integration flows.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, but the nice thing for NS was that it was not only NS systems, it were also third-party systems involved in this process, and NS had this target KPI of the handling requests within 50 minutes. Yep. So we needed to know as soon as possible whether a third-party system was not at home. And then we could call someone, hey, please switch on the system again.
Your system is down.
Yeah.
We had some heartbeats.
We didn't know yet.
Everything. Yeah.
But isn't that a role that Cloud ALM is supposed to take over?
Definitely. Yeah.
So you see a role for Cloud ALM in
absolutely.
that space.
Yeah. But is that going smoothly? Is it out of the box? I do not know. So I do not know Cloud ALM. But is it? Do you have to still develop your own BAM, business activity monitoring, or can you use Cloud ALM as BAM?
You have to customize it yourself. It's not out of the box, but you have to customize your own rules, what you want to see and how.
Yeah. Okay. And still, we had a few episodes ago, we had the value chain. They built also their own monitoring solution, still on top of SAP's integration solution to have this.
Would have been good to ask them as well. Like, why did you build this yourself?
Yeah, I think we did.
Why didn't you use Cloud ALM?
Yeah, but okay, let's listen back to that episode. But I think we did. We asked them. It also came up like we didn't know discussing BAM because it was built for a customer, and also they built this specific solution for a customer, and then they said, hey, maybe it's relevant for more customers, so they cloudified it. Not sure if that's a nice word, but and now they offer that as a solution, as a service to other customers as well. So monitoring, especially business monitoring, is really a thing. I think SAP is monitoring it really on a technical level, but not only the technical people are interested in how processes are run.
Exactly.
Yeah, this could be the role for Cloud ALM. Yeah. But talking about things like what you mentioned, right? I heard it a lot. That integration consultants, when they go to customers and they set up, that they get started with their projects, that they have a bag of tools. And perhaps the same goes for you. And if you bring your bag of tools, what's in there?
What's in there?
Please open the bag.
Show it to me.
So I will gladly show you my tools. So I have some XSLT tools, like Stylus Studio. That's perfect. The first thing I bought when I started my own company was a license on Stylus Studio to make XSLT mappings.
Build that.
Sorry?
I have never heard of it before.
Stylus Studio?
No.
Oh, it is fantastic.
What does it do?
It makes creating an XSLT mapping very easy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it helps you. So I think it's a perfect tool for me to make my more complex XSLT mappings.
And can it import existing ones as well?
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
So you can start developing from there.
Also, yeah. Yeah, so that's what I need, and I have some, of course.
But is XSLT mapping, is that something specific SAP, or is it generic? Okay,
it's generic XML mapping, translating, converting to complex other formats, and I use it a lot in PO because I think it's very powerful. It is for me a lot easier to do some simple things that is a little bit difficult in the PO mapping, visual mapping, or in the cloud integration mapping.
Yeah, which is basically a version of what you are familiar with in the PO mapping.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm missing the pretty print.
Oh,
that would be nice.
In the PO,
in the cloud integration.
Really, because it's like visual, right? So
it's visual, yeah. But sometimes you, when you are mixing your tiles, then it's also in the mapping it gets a little bit screwed up. So you have to do your pretty print yourself by dragging all the things to the left or up, etc. So that would be a nice button to add.
In the early days, you entered PP in the left column of your ABAP, and then you
pretty print.
Okay.
Old school. Well.
Yeah, grey hair and okay.
That sounds very interesting. I'm going to look into the tool, see what it does.
Yeah.
So it's basically a mapping tool, but then eventually generates XSLT, which you can use in Integration Suite.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. I think it's very powerful, and I introduced that tool also at my current customer where I do some work for, and all the integration consultants are now using that tool too. And you see a big speed of
the best practice helps,
exactly, it helps.
And speed up the process.
And the nice thing of XSLT, of course, is that it's portable. It's not only it's not proprietary to Integration Suite, so you can basically use it in any development tool as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and furthermore, I have some tools, of course, for generating certificates, private key pairs, all those kind of small tools, just to make my work a little bit easier.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes I just use the command line, open SSL or whatever. So
and things like in terms of productivity, generate Integration Suite or integration flows or checking naming conventions, that sort of things. Are you using anything for that?
Yeah, I have some standard naming conventions. So not only for naming the packages and the iFlows. So there are, it's very important to use the correct naming conventions for that part, but also for all the parameters you use in the iFlow. So all the standard names like receiver channel or receiver server, the credential names. Just I have a standard list of that, so it's every iFlow is the same and it's recognizable.
It's like that in the ABAP world that you have parameters and that you have the specific naming.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Standards.
That makes work, and when you go on holiday and your colleagues taking over your work, it's much easier.
Yeah.
Oh. You come back, all the namings are.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we changed the standards, by the way. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay. Any other tools?
Let me think. No, just I have a library, of course, of JavaScript, Groove scripts, a lot of XSLT examples, of course. So that's just in my baggage of all the years of experience and all the things I needed to do. I just look up the customer and the XSLT and I can reuse some stuff. So reusability a lot. But that's the main tool. Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering why you took this trailer with you, but it's a trailer of knowledge and experience. Okay.
Just now, before we started the podcast, you mentioned also that you're using a tool of Videographer. Daniel Graverson.
Yeah, exactly.
Well-known SP mentor.
Yeah, it's really handy because it's an plugin in my browser and it helps in debugging my iFlows. So it's really nice. You can just put on the trace and you can see in every step what is wrong, and you get a bunch of information like the errors, the body, URLs, header data. All the things you need to know, you can just click on the tops and you see everything that you need.
In the Videographer tool.
The Videographer tool.
Yes, a big hand to Daniel.
It's gold.
Yeah, but this very big hand. He has multiple tools. So this is one of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he is in the Netherlands. Can we ask him for a podcast?
Yeah, we should do that. Or maybe we have the possibility at TechEd.
Hopefully. Yeah. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Oh, secondly, you have some sites where you can send your data to from CPI, so you really see what you are sending out of your system. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to do some debugging and see what really leaves your cloud integration, and you have just some nice sites where you can just create a little endpoint with some authorization. You push it to that endpoint, and you see exactly the header variables and the payload and everything that comes with your call. So
which one are you using? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I will send you in the email. I forgot now.
Maybe you can put it in
Put
the show
it-
notes.
Very, very powerful.
I saw something called request catcher or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice thing is that in the audience that is now joining our show live, also Business Connector was the first tool of integration that they used. Yeah, that's a long time ago. Yeah. Okay. So if you look now in what you can do these days with integration suite and on the integration, in your integration job, what is something that you now can do what was really difficult with one of the tools that we mentioned earlier?
Yeah. In no time you can have a business process. So what is a lot of work in PO still can be done very easy in cloud integration.
Especially if you use a Jan's Joule agent, then
Exactly. If you have
but
the
I mean, it's so it's so easy already. I mean, it's low code and boxes and arrows, and if you can drag those around, then Bob's your uncle.
okay.
yeah.
But then there is always, every year there is new Christmas or Santa Claus, and every year then there is a new wishing list. So what is on your wishing list for on the integration?
My wishing list
Yeah.
is definitely a metadata builder like we had in PO, like building data types, message types, and generating XSDs and WSDLs.
So same tool as what you use for XSLT, but then for XSD.
Yeah, XSD generation.
XSD builders.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can of course use the tool to generate an XSD from an XML, but really I'm sometimes using my old PO environment to create very quickly an XSD and then import it in cloud integration.
Really? Nice.
I've heard the request before actually, and I think the canned answer of SAP is then there's so many tools around. Why don't you use those?
Yeah, but I think the old power or the powerful PO option is very user friendly and quick. So
yeah, and it's integrated in.
And I did not find
tools.
a good tool yet to help me in that perspective.
Okay. So dear product management, Udo, if you listen to us.
And the rest.
And the rest, yeah.
You know, sorry.
I have
Go
another
ahead.
wish.
Yeah.
That is exposing the local network drives of the customer using the cloud connector.
Okay, but can't you do that through things like SFTP and stuff?
Yeah, but sometimes you have a discussion that there is no SFTP license or software, or really, and some customers do really have a lot of network sharing, and I feel, or I experience a lot of need for that during my integration projects, and the customers ask, do I need an SFTP? But I don't have an SFTP, or can you host one? But it would be so much easier if you can just expose that using the cloud connector.
Yeah.
That would be really a win.
Okay.
Provided the protocols like NFS and stuff supports.
Yeah.
Proxies.
Yeah.
Man in the middle.
Yeah.
Can imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good one for product management as well.
Yeah.
I know that it's coming in the edge integration cells, right? Where you have possibilities to, to open local files and stuff.
Yeah.
As far as I know, they haven't brought it to the cloud integration facility yet.
That would be a nice win.
Talking about these kind of things, about protocols and stuff, we have this whole notion of clean core, of course, right? And latest we understood in the area of integration is that, well, we're kind of not supposed to use iDocs anymore because it's not considered clean core. What do you think of that?
I still use them. I use OData, but I still use iDocs. I used them in R2 programming long time ago, in the 20th century. But I use them still. But I use also a lot of OData services, of course. But I'm sometimes it depends also. The functional departments of some companies are really used to iDocs. Sometimes an iDoc is powerful enough to do the job.
Yeah. Isn't that also the story that then they first declared iDocs is now old-fashioned and not clean core, but then they came back to that because there is so widespread use of iDocs still?
Yeah, it's true. But you can also see that if you look at S4, then not automatically it's an iDoc that's being pushed out. I mean, if you look, for instance, at invoices and you want to expose an invoice to, let's say, integration suite, it doesn't mean automatically from your communication scenario that you built in S4 that an iDoc is being pushed into integration suite. It could as well just be a SOAP service. So I think there's something going on. And also the notion of the whole event-driven architecture, of course, is taking a very prevalent space at the moment in S4 integration development.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's especially when you do some greenfield implementations. I don't use IDOCs anyway. I'm just using events and then picking up the data I need and send it to the non-sub or sub customer who wants that data.
Is that the abbreviation that I missed in the beginning? Because I didn't do EDA, event-driven architecture. Is that something that, if you look at integration nowadays, it's more based on events?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's growing and growing.
Yeah.
Have you? I mean, if you look at the field of integration consultancy, then most of the folks, they are considering that in an SAP space to be cloud integration, right? So they're not looking so much into API management, and they're not so much looking into event-driven architecture and stuff. How's that for you? Are you already, as an integration consultant, embracing the topic of EDA as well?
Yeah, definitely.
You see this at customers as well?
And we talk with customers what the benefit is of the event-driven architecture, and that they really grab hold of it. So more and more.
Yeah, so a modern architecture is an event-driven architecture. That's one of the other statements that we frequently use, but it's also...
Can I steal that? I would like to steal this.
Yeah, you're using that already, right?
Am I?
Yeah. Okay, you forgot about that. Yeah, that's the one that we used also when we were at Solis. Yeah, okay. But that's a long time ago.
That's a very long time
February.
At least more than a month.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, yeah. So
what are you using in terms of EDA then? Event mesh, advanced event mesh?
Event mesh.
Yeah, and also S4 use cases. And what are the subscribers typically?
Subscribers are new in the financial world, usually the invoices. Now, and some sales orders, purchase orders, also the how do you call it in English? Maintenance orders and notifications. Yeah. We do a lot with notifications too. Yeah.
And what's the amount of messages that we are now talking about?
We just started at the customer. That's about 350, 400 a day. Yeah. That's growing. Yeah. There are more companies who are connecting to our generic solution, so it will grow and grow in the following years.
Is that systems or messages?
Systems. So more companies are calling the APIs we exposed, and more messages, of course.
Yeah. So, but when SAP came with cloud integration, a lot of people were still on the on-premise integration, like PIPO, and they were all afraid to go for the cloud for performance reasons.
Yeah.
How is this perception now at customers?
I only had one experience at the customer at the beginning where we had some performance issues that had to do with large...
was it that loop over the marathon?
No, that was a long time ago. This was that was still when we had XI. No, but we had some issues with some big payloads which were retrieved. And then we just put in a call at SAP and they fixed it, and the problem was solved. So
okay,
yeah,
very
that was the only thing. And for the rest, I'm only making customers aware of the amount of messages depending on the license model they have, and that's kind of a grayish thing that I'm making customers aware of it, but myself and I do not do anything with that, because that's really a license discussion, sales
difficult discussion.
And, usually we go to SAP itself and tell, okay, what can we do? What do we have? And to which threshold can we send all the data?
Okay, thanks, Paul.
And then we come to Jan. And then we come to Jan.
I think the whole license thing is too complex for me.
And it goes like... Jan.
Yeah, exactly. Help.
Please solve.
Yeah.
Do your little dance.
Yeah, but it's quite difficult, and then it's got about message size and amount of messages, and if you have a subscription or if you have just a CPA and blah blah blah.
Exactly.
It's difficult.
And have you hit the limits of integration suite? In terms of performance, in terms of what throughput or whatever?
No, only in the amount of messages and throughput. Yeah, we had a limit depending on the license, but not technically.
No, exactly. That was
technically no.
Cool.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to pretend I don't care about licenses. So
and that's not my thing. I usually like to do so.
No. It's a different.
You never hit limits in terms of message throughput.
No.
Okay, then we should make a statement out of it because this is a really nice statement about our integration tools. Yeah, that's a really nice one. Yeah. Okay.
So good job.
So Jan, is it already time, or I see you looking at your list?
Absolutely, it's about time.
There we go.
This is Jan's Stuff question.
And the question is about staging environments. Like more and more customers are basically cost savvy and would like to have 2 staging environments, right? A non-production and a production environment.
Yeah.
Well, previously we had up to 4 or 5, right? Development, acceptance, testing,
pre-prod,
integration, whatever, production and stuff. So what do you see at customers in this cloud phenomenon that we see?
I see it a lot.
Moving to integration tenants?
Every customer which I work now in the cloud has 2. We are now discussing a 3-tier landscape with one of the customers who's very big and would like to appreciate that, but it's also a cost thing, of course. Usually 2. And then, we have, of course, there's also the challenge of what are you going to do? How can you handle it's either development or it's either the acceptance which you are linked to? And I usually do it very pragmatically. When we are developing, everything is in development and the whole package will go technically connected to the acceptance if we're going to do some test over there.
What does it mean? You take a break? When stuff is in acceptance?
Oh, I don't take a break. Yes, sort of. I just switch it. I just switch technically the connections to the SAP environment of acceptance.
Oh, right. Okay. But it also means that while it's in testing, that you won't be touching it from a development point of view.
Exactly.
Right. I mean,
you have to make good agreements with the customer about that. Yeah,
can imagine.
Otherwise, you can copy them for an acceptance version, but that's
what do you think of that?
Sometimes it's handy, but I think it's only temporary because usually how I build the integrations is I want to export the whole package and import it into production, and then you have also the acceptance in there, or you make an acceptance package that's even more possible. But it starts to get fuzzy because the production then differs a little bit from the test. I don't want that. I want uniformity. So that's why I use always the export package and import package in production, not single iFlows. It's always a hassle, so I don't start with that.
But that's something your CI/CD landscape could take care of, right? So if you have proper CI/CD pipelines, then in that pipeline you could also think of naming conventions and renaming it to an acceptance name, for instance, and then renaming it to a production name, so that you have clarity on what names are supposed to be used where. And also in that one single tenant, you can make a distinction between what's development integration flows and what's testing integration flows. Are you using those facilities as well? Are you using pipelines at all?
No.
It's always an import.
Zip
files, etc.
Yeah.
Right.
I use pipeline in Azure for other stuff, but that's not a customer. But for cloud integration, not yet.
Right. So the pipelines in Azure that you mentioned are not used for integration purposes.
Exactly.
Or for development.
Also, for development. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting take, Paul, because we've seen customers struggle with the same question. Should I have as many integration platforms or staging environments as what I use for ERP or for my other cloud applications, or should it differ?
And it is a valid question because the cloud integration is pretty expensive. And how much do you really use in development or acceptance of your integration capacity? Only during development testing, or you have to retest something maybe if we have some changes in the existing interfaces, but usually the amount of usage is not very high.
Yeah, it's also a mind shift. So in the early days when you have an on-premise integration landscape, then people thought it didn't cost anything, but of course it still costs money because it's some servers are running somewhere.
Exactly.
And now with cloud integration, we're not going to do development environment because it costs extra cloud credits. But you still want to also test, of course, in development. So, difficult.
Do we have a button for less difficult questions as well? Just
maybe the princess button.
Oh, okay. No, this one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. This is the not so difficult question by Jan.
It's a live jingle. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. No, just curious. Just now before we started the podcast, we were also talking about ready-made content on the Business Accelerator Hub.
Yeah.
How often do you see that applied at customers?
Usually in integrating SAP with other cloud SAP products. Yeah.
From SAP.
From SAP, yeah.
SAP to SAP.
Exactly, yeah.
And is it then used quite often, or is it?
Yeah.
How is it deployed? Is it deployed by customizations, or are you deploying it after changing it?
You mean the standard content for integration? Yeah, we just go with the updates of SAP.
Right.
And we just follow them, and then
you customize it. You basically indicate this is my endpoint at one side, this is the endpoint the other side.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's how it's run.
Sometimes we build some. That's for some integration. It's possible to build some mappings or some customer-specific stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do also. But usually we use the standard.
Yeah.
And I don't need to ask how much productivity savings that is delivering.
A lot. Yeah.
So
yeah,
the Business Accelerator Hub is basically in your toolbox as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. First thing I do is always look if there is a standard integration flow already. If not, then I need to build it myself, which is fun too.
Which is the right approach. Yeah. Try to stop reinventing the wheel again.
Exactly.
Over and over again. Yeah. Okay.
Do you have any difficult questions, Twan?
No, but maybe I have an intermezzo before we ask the last question.
Oh,
to
yeah.
Paul. Yeah. Let's okay. I was prepared, but
your long list of stuff.
Let's go to the SAP event calendar.
Because quite some events are coming up in the second half of this year. So let's look at the first one. It's the CodeJam on Build AI services using CAP and Gen AI Hub. That's on September 3 in Den Bosch. Then there is the kick-off of the VNSG SAP Customer B2P Hackathon, difficult name, kickoff. It will be September 10. And I think, Jan, you also have a role in that.
Yeah.
Then there is the event of the VNSG Focus Group Modern Cloud Architecture on September 18. And then you have to divide yourself because at the same day, it's the focus group of user experience also having a meetup in September 18. Security, our old friend Joris, we still call him KJ. You know probably what's meant with that. Yeah. He already explained that also when he was in our podcast. Security Day is on October 7. Then there is an ABAP Cloud Developer Day, October 9, that we also had last year with product management of ABAP. Was a really successful day, so be sure that you are in time to register. And then of course the main event, our favorite event of the year is
the Every Friday podcast.
Of course.
You mean the second favorite?
You should have prepared this one. Yeah,
just kidding.
Okay, but what is our SAP
I think it would be TechEd.
SAP TechEd in Berlin, November 4 to November 6. I think maybe we hope to be there as well with our podcast equipment and get some nice stories over there. And then maybe that should be our favorite event, of course. End of November 28 and 29, we're going to celebrate 15 years of SAP Inside Track in the Netherlands, CITNL in short. 15th time this year. So be sure, we are going to open up for registration
in 2 weeks.
2 weeks time or something, and then hopefully
the registration for the speaker event.
For the speaker, and then we're going to build the agenda out of that. So, but please reserve the dates, November 28 and November 29 for SAP Inside Track, the Netherlands, the 15th time.
It's HANA Café Nederland with your hosts Jan and Twan.
Back to Paul. Paul, you have, as I said, there is a trailer of experience running behind your car and a big backpack of knowledge and tools. Yes. What if you're now doing your study in IT, for example, and want to become an integration specialist and look up to you? And, I want to be like Paul. What is your suggestion? What is your tip for newcomers in the integration world for SAP?
Well, start using my toolbox.
Get your MBA. Right? Yeah. Your master's in boxes and arrows.
For example, yeah.
Where was that button?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I think it was this one, the green one.
Nee.
Never mind.
Yeah, okay.
Never mind.
No, and I would really invest some time in not doing some SAP-related trainings, but of course the CPI training, but also get knowledge about certificates, all the SSL,
all the security things.
Security things are really, really important to have a good understanding about how that works, because
certificates, OAuth, that kind of jazz.
Yeah, like MTLS. What is it exactly? How does it function, etc.
XML, XSLT.
XSLT, XML, HTTP protocols, AS2, all that kind of protocols, and you need to have a good understanding of that, and then just do a lot of building. And when I have a new integration consultant under my wings, I always show him or her a lot and let them do a lot of things themselves. Just try to figure it out yourself and then nudge him in the correct
you learn
direction.
by making some errors or mistakes, and that's how you learn.
You can tell how a lot, but
if I'm a new developer, how long will it take before I'm as good as you?
You?
Okay, I'll probably never reach that level. But suppose you're a good new developer, how long will it take before that person reaches that level that you'll be looking for as a customer? Let's say as a customer.
I think about 2 years. Yeah, definitely.
And how about tutorials? Because if you look at the SAP community, then there are a lot of developer guides, tutorials on building with CAP or building with UI5 or building something with SAP Build or process automation. There's a lot of available. Is it also an integration suite?
Definitely, yeah. A lot of how-to guides, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's a wealth. If you really want to start something new, or you think, oh, I have a new thing needed in my integration flow, I just look it up, look at the tutorials of SAP or some other contributors. That helps enormously.
If you compare that, for example, to the time of Business Connector and XI, then you had to go to Den Bosch for training for 5 days and then go back to your customer. I've learned something, but now it's just at your fingertips.
The nice thing is that these learnings, they're basically for free now, coming from OpenSAP. Nowadays, part of the learnings hub, right? Yeah. So you can take your learnings from there, but also don't underestimate the information that's available publicly on the web. I mean, if you go to YouTube and key an integration suite over there or CPI in there,
then you find Daniel.
You'll find Daniel maybe, but there's a lot of people that you find there.
Yeah.
All having come up with very nice tutorials on how to solve basically integration issues.
Yeah, but also the SAP community is still having this question and answer site where you can ask your question and then find an answer.
Yeah, but keep in mind that the integration community is far larger than just what you see on the SAP sites.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. And then with Joule for developers coming in, then you can also ask your question to Joule. That's your new best friend. Yeah. Okay, but then so that's just do it. Go not only for the SAP tool, but also for the mappings and what you just explained. Any other tips?
No, just practice on the job. That's the best. And making use, I have a standard list of all tutorials which I ever used. And then if you have some spare time in your weekend, just go through them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it started with Business Connector.
No. In that time, there weren't so much tutorials.
No, exactly. No. Then you have to read Paul's memoirs.
Yeah.
All right. And war stories.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Paul, for joining today.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Yes,
really enjoyed
it. It was an
honor
session again. And thanks for joining today, listening to today's session, or joining us live in the YouTube stream. Thanks, Jan, for joining and asking the difficult questions.
And easy questions.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And see you next time.
And that's a wrap for this episode of HANA Café Nederland. Jan and Tom loved having you here. Drop us a line if you have any thoughts or want to be on the show. We'll be back soon with more SAP goodness. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.